We're gonna react to the CrossFit Games max out in the clean in 2019, and we're gonna start right now. What's up, everybody? It's Dane from GarageStrength.com, and if this is your first time to the channel and you're interested in becoming a better lifter, make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you smash that notification bell so we can help you become a beast. The CrossFit Games is this crazy event, right? Every single year they happen, and there's just a lot of mayhem going on. There's a lot of crazy tests that actually go into the CrossFit Games. And one of the things that when I sit down and watch is that some of the actual tests that they're doing, I think are just completely absurd. But some of their tests are absolutely phenomenal. Some of the events I'm sitting here going like, why aren't these other sports taking a piece out of the CrossFit Games? Because they're so well organized, they're entertaining to watch, and it makes things a little bit more of like that battle royale. And so one of those is the 2019 CrossFit Games clean, right? And so they end up having everybody max out, and they narrow the field down, and then they put everybody on the center stage, and they just go back and forth, toe to toe. It's just this battle of the clean. So we're gonna jump right into it. I wanna talk about technique. I wanna talk about who these athletes are, what's so cool about it, and what can other sports take away from this so that they can actually be a little more entertaining. Okay, so Toomey comes in here, 250 pounds. I think that I actually feel like it would be difficult to hit the, like, mentally 250 pounds lifting all the time in kilos. I'd be sitting there like, all right, 250, that's like what, 113, 112, somewhere in there. Maybe 113, because I don't even know myself. 115 is what, 253, so maybe it's 114. Anyway, Barnhart in here, 255. That's a little forward, but you know, she's pretty good. And what I noticed here is that with Toomey's skill, she's a little tighter in her catch, just a little bit more rigid in her trunk. Another aspect that's crazy is how far they make them walk off the platform. Like, put their chairs right next to the platform. It'd be a lot easier, but they're taking this like 40-meter walk up to the platform, which, you know, that is cool. I almost think they should just sit them right next to each other so they have to stare each other down. 255. So I'm trying to think, when Toomey won the Commonwealth Games, I want to say she was at like 118 on a clean and jerk, but I could be completely off there. I just think her technique's nice, man. Nice and vertical finish there. Keeps her chest over. The bar's a little loose around the knee. I think this is something that weightlifting has to learn from, is that you could, in theory, if we implode the IWF and we figure out and we get rid of things like press outs and the drop bar rule and elbow touch, that's a better lift there from Barnhart, and we actually set something up similar to high jump or pole vault, even if you just make it that toe-to-toe, head-to-head competition with a clean ladder or clean and jerk ladder or snatch ladder, what weightlifting could do is, after we get all the boom booms out of the IWF, now we could break it down and say, all right, if you're in a session at a weightlifting comp and you get through the ladder and you're top 3 or top 4, now you can go toe to toe and you just go back and forth. I think that would be absolutely super intense. There'd be a lot less bomb outs because now people could come in at earlier positions because they could use their warm-ups essentially as those attempts, which is what happens in a lot of those track and field events. And now weightlifting can be a little bit more entertaining. So I think the thing too with CrossFit is that you're seeing, just from a technical perspective, now I know these guys, these women are, you know, the two best essentially, right? Their technique though has just drastically improved. You're not seeing people flail all over the place, get pancaked, break their wrists. I mean, sometimes you are still seeing that, but it's a lot more productive than it used to be. Okay, Barnhart loses this a little forward, heels pop, and this is the thing too, that's cool. You can miss a big lift, you miss that big lift, and you have a time frame, you have 30 seconds, and that is freaking cool, that's phenomenal. So, little tight, or a little loose around the knee, gets into the hip, it's a little forward, and now Toomey's got the chance to come out, cement the win, and you know, hit this major lift, and the crowd involvement is so much more entertaining. It's not like you're at a funeral or a tennis match where everybody has to be quiet like in a weightlifting competition. You know, you have weightlifters that are training, and if a fly flies in front of them, they can't take their lift anymore. Whereas you can see this, it's a little more entertaining, and it could spice up the weightlifting competitions a little bit more. Toomey's taking 265, that's like 120 and a half, and that's, for 58K, solid lift. Hits that clean, nice. 58 to 64 kilos or 59 to 64 kilos. I'm trying to think. My best 59K lifter has clean and jerked 112, and she's 20. That's pretty good. That's legit. She's a junior world team member. This is the all about, and that's the whole thing around weightlifting. If we think about weightlifting as far as what is most entertaining, this is what we should be looking at. The sport is about entertainment. No one's going to engage with weightlifting if it's not entertaining. That's why CrossFit's so big, because it's crazy, it's entertaining. What's the next lunatic thing that they're gonna do? Okay, so now we're getting into the men. 315s, that first one here. Yeah, that was an easy lift from Hepner. Panchik comes in. I don't really know who these guys are, mainly because I'm not a huge CrossFit fan. Like I just, not that I dislike it, it's that I don't engage with it as much. And then, you know, Matt Frazier, who was a decent weightlifter himself, was at the OTC for a little while. I think he actually roomed with a guy that I work with, North Bardanian. I think this is the other thing, is that when you're in front of a crowd that's this engaged, you can hit PRs that are 5 to 7 kilos higher just because the adrenaline that you get, the pressure that you get. It's one of those experiences. You know, these guys are standing on that center stage. They probably don't even. It's like a whole nother. It's like a whole other world of existence, right? You're just sitting there with everybody's eyes on you. So, you know, Frazier just comes in, makes easy money with that 345. Newbury's forward off the floor. Now we're at 365. So this is where I wanted to start to brag. I've got a high school junior who had cleaned 170, or yeah, and that's what this is, 170. So these are the weights now. I think once you get up over 170, closer to 180, that's when we're starting to get serious. I also love, okay, that's, I think that's Noah Olson, weightlifter. The transfer of the sport is phenomenal of weightlifting over to CrossFit. So what can we learn? Every sport has to realize we are here for entertainment purposes. Ever since Roman times, we are here to do things that are entertaining for people to watch. If weightlifting takes a little bit out of the CrossFit Games and says, you know what, let's change the format. Let's change the viewing perspective. Let's make this a little more engaging. Let's make it a little bit higher tempo. Let's play some music that's not, you know, soft rock from the late 70s and the early 80s, and we're listening to Jackson Brown every single time that we have guys going out to clean and jerk 220 kilos. Now, it's gonna get a little more intense. It's gonna be more entertaining. It's gonna be louder. You're gonna get more people engaged. And I know I said the gambling thing. I don't gamble a lot, but I do think that that would be really fun. You could sit there with tiebreakers and play around with stuff, and that gets people more interested in the sport. So if you want more content like this, click on this card right here. Until next time, guys, hopefully the IWF either implodes or learns from the CrossFit Games. Peace.